Hello, my name's Mason. Today I'm going to be explicating page 87 of The Sound and the Fury. This is part of Benji's section. So to begin, I'll just read the passage. "Oh, I wouldn't be surprised," Jason said. "I wouldn't be surprised at anything you'd do." Quentin threw her napkin on the table. "Hush your mouth, Jason," Dilsey said. She went and put her arm around Quentin. "Sit down, honey," Dilsey said. "He ought to be ashamed of himself, throwing what ain't your fault up to you." "She's sullen again, is she?" Roscus said. "Hush your mouth," Dilsey said. Quentin pushed Dilsey away. She looked at Jason. Her mouth was red. She picked up her glass of water and swung her arm back, looking at Jason. Dilsey caught her arm. They fought. The glass broke on the table, and the water ran into the table. Quentin was running. "Mother's sick again," Caddy said. "Sure she is," Dilsey said. "Weather like this make anybody sick. When you going to get done eatin', boy?" "God damn you," Quentin said. "God damn you." We could hear her running on the stairs. We went to the library. Caddy gave me the cushion, and I could look at the cushion and the mirror and the fire. "We must be quiet while Quentin's studying," Father said. "What are you doing, Jason?" "Nothing," Jason said. "Suppose you come over here and do it then," Father said. Jason came out of the corner. Alright, so up at the top, we have Jason saying, "Oh, I wouldn't be surprised," Jason said. "I wouldn't be surprised at anything you'd do." The you here is referring to Quentin. That's the female Quentin, daughter of Caddy. And it's perhaps alluding to Quentin's promiscuity. So Jason, the first half of that sentence might be, "If you would do that, I wouldn't be surprised at anything you do." Next we have Dilsey saying, "You ought to be ashamed of yourself, throwing what ain't your fault up to you." The what is interesting in this sentence, what that might be referring to. Perhaps it is the fact that she's living in that Quentin is living in the house of the Compsons, which is not her fault. It's due to her being an illegitimate child of Caddy. And then Roscus says, "She's sulling again, is she?" And sulling means a refusal to go on. This is talking about the mother's nature of always being the end. She's self-centered. And we also get a glimpse of Roscus's personality here being kind of sardonic. Quentin pushed Dilsey away. We also have, before I go on, we also have a repetition here of "hush your mouth." Dilsey saying "hush your mouth." This is one of these things that connects these events in Benji's life. Just a repetition of a phrase reminds him of something else. So these are these connections we have throughout the Benji section. Quentin pushed Dilsey away. She looked at Jason. Her mouth was red. Now this is one of the most interesting lines on the page, I think. And I was puzzling at what it might mean, and I think it could possibly mean her mouth and her face was red with anger, or it could possibly be, we have the phrase being caught red-handed, and it can be referencing a place of guilt. Quentin's guilt is that she's been kissing boys, so her place of guilt would be her mouth, so she's been caught red-mouthed, in a way. She picked up her glass of water and swung her arm back, looking at Jason. Dilsey caught her arm. They fought. The glass broke on the table, and the water ran into the table. Water, in The Sound and the Fury, often represents purity. So the glass breaking and the water falling everywhere it represents the destruction of Quentin's purity, and just a symbol of it going away, seeping into the table. Quentin, we also have a repetition here, the water running, and Quentin was running, it says, and she's running up the stairs, so she's running away from the purity of adolescence. And Dilsey is physically, it says in the text, fighting Quentin. And Dilsey is constantly fighting to save the Compson's morality. She's fighting to save that glass of water from falling. Dilsey is the person trying to hold their morality together and keep it from breaking. Mother's sick again, Caddy said. Again, Caddy, she reinforces what we've been informed earlier by Roscus. Mother is always sick. Something's always wrong. She's never well. All part of her egoism. And when Dilsey says, when you going to get done eating, boy, she's mentioning, that's directed at Benji, who has been gorging himself on soup, eating bowl after bowl. And so Dilsey says, when are you going to get it done eating? God damn you, Quentin said. God damn you. Now, we're not sure who specifically Quentin is saying God damn you to. It could be Dilsey, it could be Jason, it could be Benji, it could be the entire family, the Compsons. She kind of sees them as a curse on her life that she has to live in this household. And Benji, narrating, says, we went to the library. Again, the we there, we're not sure who the we is referring to. It could be everyone at the table, being Dilsey, Jason, Benji, of course. It could also, maybe it could mean Benji and Luster. We might be slipping back into the present there. Who knows? Jason, well, Caddy actually says, Caddy gave Benji the cushion, and Benji says, I could look at the cushion and the mirror and the fire. This kind of gives us insight into the simple pleasures that Benji enjoys, being able to observe these three things at once. And then the father says, we must be quiet while Quentin is studying. This is, of course, referring to the male Quentin, the brother of Benji and Jason. And the studying alludes, of course, to Quentin's Harvard career. And father then says, what are you doing, Jason? Jason is in a corner. And this says a lot about Jason's character and his role to the family. Father, Benji, and Caddy are all gathered around the fire, and Jason is physically outside of them. He is outside of the cares of the family. This represents his greed, kind of. You know, he separates himself from them. He cares about himself alone. And the fact that he's standing in the dark of a corner kind of references his own dark moral character, his wickedness. There's a lot of, I'm going to go back through real quick, there's a lot of tense shifts. In one event or memory or reality, we have everything that I'm about to read. Oh, I wouldn't be surprised, Jason said. I wouldn't be surprised at anything you do. Quentin threw her napkin on the table. Hush your mouth, Jason, Dilsey said. She went and put her arm around Quentin. Sit down, honey, Dilsey said. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, throwing what ain't your fault up at you. And we skip a little bit to Quentin pushed Dilsey away. She looked at Jason. Her mouth was red. She picked up her glass of water, swung her arm back, looking at Jason. Dilsey caught her arm. They fought. The glass broke on the table. The water ran into the table. Quentin was running. We skip again down to, God damn you, Quentin said. God damn you. We could hear her running on the stairs. We went to the library. Those are all in one memory, and they're separated into three parts on this page. Those are all italicized. In non-italicized text, we have, she's sullen again, is she? Roscus said. Hush your mouth, Dilsey said. Just those two lines. Then we skip down to Mother sick again, Caddy said. Show she is, Dilsey said. Weather like this make anybody sick. When you gonna get done eating, boy? Again, there's those two lines. Skip down again to, Caddy gave me the cushion, and I could look at the cushion in the mirror and the fire. We must be quiet while Quentin's studying. What are you doing, Jason? Nothing, Jason said. Suppose you come up here and do it then. Jason came out of the corner. So here we have possibly 2 to 4 consistent memories on this page, all divided by the italicization. So anyway, that's my explication. I hope it wasn't too all over the place. So y'all enjoy. I look forward to hearing all of yours. Thank you very much.